Hi, welcome to our second video, Detox 2, in our detoxification series, controlling dietary and environmental exposures to toxins. Toxins are an everyday part of our environment. Toxins are also found in our foods. Over 4 pounds per person each year is consumed in artificial coloring and additives. So artificial sweeteners, antibiotics, hormones, flow enhancers, pesticide residues on fruits and vegetables, heavy metals, the list goes on and on. It's important to understand how to spot these and how to remove them or not be exposed to them. One way of remaining conscious when it comes to consuming healthy foods and having healthy eating habits is the 4 W's of eating. They are what, where, when, and why. Let's discuss those. The first W is what. What are you eating? If it's not in the same form that Mother Nature made it or one processing step away, don't consume it. Here's an example. Apples, Mother Nature made them. Applesauce, with no sugar added or preservatives, that's one processing step away. The next W is where. Where are you eating? Are you on the run? Are you moving down the street as you're eating a hot dog? Are you driving a car, or worse yet? All of these different musculoskeletal activities take blood flow away from the gastrointestinal tract. And for people who do this, you're asking for gastrointestinal issues and upset. You should be sitting down, taking at least 20 minutes to be able to relax, and hopefully not in a noisy environment. Remember, it's all about your health. The next W is when. When are you eating? Are you eating at 3 o'clock in the morning because you just woke up and you had a nightmare? Or are you eating during the day? Oftentimes it's best to be able to eat during the day between the hours of 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. This allows you to be able to have a proper cycle when it comes to the intake of food, the digestion and assimilation of food, and then early in the morning, the defecation and excretion of its byproducts. It's important to understand your cycles and stick by them. Don't be a midnight snacker. The last W is why. Why are you eating? Are you eating because you're hungry? Or are you eating like many people out there in America today because they're bored, they're lonely, they're agitated, or they have some other thing they're trying to get off of their mind by consuming food? Besides the 4 W's, there are certain foods you may consider avoiding or cutting back on during the 28-day detox program. Dairy, wheat, both citrus fruit and juices, red meat, alcohol obviously, and select fish that tend to be higher in heavy metals such as tuna and swordfish. The next area to talk about is preparation and storage of food. Pesticides and cleaning are a big issue. When it comes to fruits and vegetables, the forms of pesticides which are currently being used these days aren't very easily washed off by a simple rinse of water. It's important to scrub the fruits and vegetables to be able to get the residues off. Next area is cooking. The issue is microwave versus conventional. Well, in a conventional oven, you simply heat the foods up, but in a microwave oven, there's certain things that happen to the food on a molecular basis. Electrons might spin off in the process of this vibration, leading towards more free radicals formed in food. It's my recommendation that you stick with conventional or convex ovens. The next question is steaming versus grilling or frying. Well, steaming is always a good way to be able to make sure, lightly steaming, your fruits and vegetables and different types of proteins as well, to be able to make sure you keep those nutrients in there. Certain people like to be able to grill, but the byproducts of grilling, especially charcoal grilling, will leave you with higher amounts of carcinogens. And frying can be a problem as well because oils become more destabilized. There's certain forms of controversy about different types of oil, such as canola oil being more stable during a frying state, but still the research and the argument is still out on that subject matter. It's often best to steam during a detoxification program. Last is storage. Should you store in glass and ceramic versus plastics? Well, glass and ceramic are usually the best choices because there's less of those specific forms of toxins getting in the food that you would find in plastics. Plastics have been pointed out not only in storing food but storing water to be a problem and having things called xenoestrogens in them that get into the water. These are hormone-like substances that can be very, very hurtful to the individuals who are consuming them and can derange hormone balance. Now on to the subject of beverages. What are you going to drink during your detox? We recommend water. Water, pure and simple. You have 3 different sources of it, and they have some downfalls on some of them. The first area is tap. Well, tap water these days, according to the EPA, may have some problems. The first thing is heavy metals. Second thing is recently they found high amounts of drugs in water as well. And lastly, chlorine. Remember, chlorine's interesting. It is used in the water to kill off bad bacteria. That makes it an antibiotic. And as we know, antibiotics can oftentimes go after mitochondria inside your cells because mitochondrial DNA looks exactly like bacterial DNA. The outcome of this is a lowering of your overall energy in your body. Let's try to stay away from tap for right now until we clean up our environment, especially during your detox. The next area is bottled. If you do drink bottled water, it's best to get it in glass bottles and make sure that it's true spring water. How do you find out if it's really spring water? Look in the back of the label. It should have a location of that spring. If it doesn't, did you know that up to 80% of bottled water, by law, can be tap? So keep your eyes open for that. The last area is filtered water. This is one of the areas in which we want to be able to make sure we don't spend too much money for a filter, because spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for very advanced filters don't tend to give you that much more than a simpler filter that may cost $30 to $50. Using a simple pure or Brita water filter can be very helpful for removing many of these heavy metals, and on top of that, removing the chlorine as well. Other places in which you can have toxic exposures are household cleaners. This is important to understand. One of the best ways to be able to get specific forms of drugs and other substances into your body is what's known as intradermal, or going through your skin. All of these different toxic substances that you handle, such as household cleaners, can get through your skin and into your body and lead to more of a toxic load. Please always remember, open up the windows when you clean, if possible, but always wear gloves. Other toxins can be found in your garage or around your lawn, such things as pesticides and herbicides. And inside the house, and inside industrial and commercial sites, such things as glues and paints. All of these items can lead to neurological issues as well as other issues related to health. So please, handle them in a highly ventilated area with gloves on. So remember, there are only two ways of avoiding a toxic burden from your food and environment. First of all, reduce your exposure to toxins. And second of all, increase your body's ability to excrete stored toxins by using scientifically proven approaches for detoxification, like medical foods.